Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer. The moon is in Leo, the sun is in Capricorn, and we are in midst of a 210-degree angle in between the 240-degree, or let me say that again, we are in the midst of a 180-degree to 210-degree angle. Once the moon reaches about like 24 degrees Leo, we will have officially enacted the 210-degree Scorpio signature angle of transformation. All right. The 8th house Scorpio signature is the actual signature of reaping, hence the correlation with death. And then, of course, the 9th house signature gives us a vision of what we have reaped before the 10th house signature of completing that. So if that full moon 180 degree 210 and 240 Scorpio, Sag, Libra, Scorpio, and Sag, or 7th house to 10th house harvest is reaping the crops. The 10th house is where now you have the barrels of, okay, this is everything we accomplished, everything we reaped. So this 8th house is quite literally now taking this power we activated, and now that we have felt through Cancer the unique signature, and it's cool if you're not aware of this, much of this may be subconscious, but coming into a deeper feel over Mars, more deeply desiring and activating the feeling of power with the God of War of, you know, what powers you are harvesting. Now the moon in Leo is helping us integrate this social understanding on stage of how we feel into the courage and how that courage transforms our awareness of our integrity. I'm using the analogy of supernatural God power, but Capricorn is really also just the character of your integrity, or rather the integrity of your character. That final cardinal sign coming through, of course, after Aries of identity, Cancer of home, Libra of social persona. Capricorn is that reputation, success facet of yourself that really looks towards, of course, how not only how you accomplish your goals, but it's the facet of your character that now looks more into the integrity of it. And so how do we take that and how do we feel as everything individually we integrated it towards that universal perspective? The social perspectives will help to transform relative to understanding the context of how this takes place with other people, or even if socializing with yourself. The moon in Leo gives a charge, a solar charge. Moon in Leo, moon Aquarius, or Leo and Aquarius transits, it's like plugging in something to a wall. Energy actively going to strengthen the power we've harvested. This strength of energy is now going to express the effect of such when the moon goes into Virgo, when we start to come into a detailed understanding and analysis of how we use these new God powers. All right. So you're going to be feeling the harvest of this much stronger. It's going to be charging. With this charging, it inspires greater confidence. But the moon at current in entering Leo is opposing Pluto in Aquarius. So there is that extreme sense of energy, this heightened quality of energy. Since 2008 to 2024, Moon and Leo transits occurred while Pluto was in Capricorn, which transformed more the integration of awakening this power. Now that it's in Aquarius, we're interfacing the awakening of higher facets of our mind and a supernatural quality of energy, which of course is outside what we physically perceive, in order to strengthen that courage in our hearts. It's giving you more of that pressure where, you know, you're feeling on stage this tension, this more extreme possibly negativity, but it could be positivity. Pluto really just speaks to the intensity and extremeness, whether it's good or bad, depends on the influence that it's on. But that being said, in feeling this pressure, it has you come in much stronger by feeling a lot of, in this case, negativity that's projected towards you. This is going to really transform who you feel you should trust relative to this harvest of power, and who actually responds in kind, seeing you as you are, or less than you are, or more than you are. Okay, this is going to influence what boundaries you place and who you trust moving forward. Who you trust as well. I mean, if you just put in work to plant seeds, those seeds integrated and you harvest, who do you trust with those rewards? Are you going to allow people who weren't planting these seeds with you? Are you going to really give access to people who are impeding and getting in your way towards establishing, the seeds you planted in these new cycles? And now with the social understanding and integration, that's what's going to help you understand maneuvering and dealing with people coming into, of course, on stage, everything you activated or integrated, in this case, individually. It's like while you were with yourself individually, you kind of understood how to tie all this together. And now with other people, you're breaking through. This is the breakthrough signature of the transit. And as such, everything we've been aware of since we started this cycle, you're actively transforming how you feel about it with this added and extra courage. The trine to the North Node in Aries and Chiron in Aries now strengthens the potency of the individuality of your character and the authenticity that with Chiron is healing any vulnerabilities to your ego, putting you in positions where others may desperately try to bring you down to their level, but you don't necessarily let hate stop you from really maintaining, quote unquote, high vibrations. And that's the pressure of Pluto and Aquarius, where everyone's awakening, but not everyone has integrity. So it could really just awaken darker pockets of energy within people that they won't just be projecting towards you, but everyone else, as they refuse to look within. So just keep that in mind. At this stage, you've developed your strength to a point where not only you can recognize this and the fallacies and just the deception, where people will mask their true intentions to see it reflected in their actions. That's all beneath you. So don't necessarily fall into the trap of trying to argue or whatnot. Just speak with your actions. We're harvesting this power. As long as you maintain integrity and authenticity, this is what will, through the courage of you expressing this out, break through. And there's just so much you're going to accomplish and prove without saying a single goddamn word, just due to the integrity of your actions below. Just due to the integrity of your actions, period. Once again, I do want to illustrate that all this is setting up the moon in Virgo, where we're going to change our perspective, because now we're going to be understanding how this power we're harvesting can be utilized. And that doesn't mean you still won't feel it strengthening beforehand. Once again, this is going to test courage, especially with the light yod that will be forming with, of course, the sun in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, but then also Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. With Leo being that yod, the perspective of our beliefs in Pisces and the direction we take our integrity in Capricorn is going to influence the strength of how we socially integrate and present ourselves. Relative to if we have weak beliefs, then that perspective isn't going to allow us to really stand and express. And if we don't have the potency of Capricorn, then we're going to come weak. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, the strength that we angle this down, the Pisces will influence the angle with where we perceive, and the Capricorn will influence the potency of how strong you are feeling this harvest. Okay, so that finger of God that happens very lightly will really align that before we adjust perspective with Virgo and close the transit out accordingly and step into this next 20-year era. Now, the Jupiter in Gemini transit that was previously activated earlier with Moon in Gemini, the Moon in Leo is going to express the expansion of this vocabulary by understanding what more courage you can amplify these ideas with. That, and aligning with the authenticity of Aries, aligns the individuality of yourself to be expressed with more creativity, hence understanding more of this creativity that will transform this universal power and this awareness of your integrity, interfacing how you, of course, express your collective God self. All right. So The nature of how you're going to deal with others socially is transforming forever. This is the completion of the sun transit we started late March, April. You know what I mean? This is going to really deepen intimacy with people who aren't stupid little weak ass bitches. All right, who just refuse to take accountability and want to make all their problems your problems. There's going to be an intense frustration of an inability to manipulate you and switch your values and to do what they want you to do, individually, collectively, socially. Much passive aggressive behavior, much bitch made behavior with Mars progressed into Cancer, excuse my language. And it's really putting you in a position once again to navigate very wisely who you're wasting your energy on, because at this point the integrity of your actions speaks so goddamn loudly. They're making more uncomfortable those who never really had integrity or whose beliefs don't have integrity than ever before. Then the moon will go into Virgo and we'll analyze how we're still aligning with the integrity of our beliefs, but now it's integrating this integrity of beliefs relative to how creatively we can socially express them, thus transforming this universal awareness. And, this is going to show you much deeper into how evil the psychology of certain people who see you as less than you are can be when you don't allow them to shame, guilt, or manipulate you. All right. People like to hide behind rhetoric, fake ethos. People like to act like with worldly wisdom, they know more when, realistically, they can't even really demonstrate that without relying on outdated theoretical models, prejudice, bias, and all things that will basically screw them over in the long run. So don't let these forces bring you down with them, please. There's definitely better ways to go out. I mean, if at the same time, if you have to tell off somebody and you have to tell it like it is, that's just what it is. It is what it is. It's not necessarily like, oh, you have to hold your tongue, but don't do anything that's beneath you. Because, unless you're authentic about it, you just end up wasting your time with literal losers who are just pretty much envious and jealous that you exist outside of their range of influence and control, and can thus influence other people that will kind of reveal their nature directly or indirectly. However, this is also preparing you once again to strengthen connections with those who resonate at the frequency you resonate and are ready to push forward in aligning with the ways you're awakening this higher God level facet of yourself, or just awakening this integrity of self. So in a nutshell, embrace this transformative process that will not only help you understand how much more boldly you shift with this social context to stand in courage with your awareness of integrity and where you are taking and capping off your character. And that will lead into a very analytical shift in perspective to detail how we are completing the harvest of all of this. This will require courage, both psychologically and emotionally, and it will definitely tap you deeper into strengths you never even knew you had. You all stay blessed as always. I am still available on Hipsy from 12 to 3 p.m. PST. If you want to talk with me one-on-one, click the link in the description box below. If you're on Instagram, click the link in my bio. And I still do have my readings available on my website, thepeacedealer.com, if you'd like to schedule a reading with me. I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.